It's no secret that mechanics and strategies in competitive games evolve as players discover newer, better ways to beat their opponents. Sometimes the strategy can come seemingly out of nowhere, yet quickly catches on as the player base collectively starts seeing its effectiveness and spreading it. This isn't unique to gaming either, as you can see the same thing happen in sports. Take, for example, the prominence of the three-pointer in today's NBA, or the dominance of high-powered throwing offenses in the NFL. The difference is, those changes in sports that have been around for 100+ years in some cases are much slower than in gaming. The term we use to describe these strategies and mechanics is the meta. If you're like me before I made this video, you might think meta comes from the same word which means self-referencing, like, wow, that's so meta. But you'd be wrong. Meta is actually an acronym for Most Effective Tactics Available, which makes way more sense. Now, when it comes to your amazing plays, I'd say one of the most effective tactics available to you is to make sure to submit them to Gift Your Game's Goal of the Year contest. Yes, I was able to tie that into a sponsorship somehow. That's why I'm gonna get to 1 million subscribers before Musty, right guys? Right guys? So the Gift Your Game Goal of the Year contest is ending soon. So make sure to go to the link below to submit a clip or 5 for a chance to win $25,000 in prizes. You can submit as many highlights as you like, and they don't have to be clipped from Gift Your Game. Now, if you're like me, you may not have many amazing highlights, but plebs like us can still participate by checking out and reacting to the best goals. I'm doing my part. As the biggest contest in Rocket League history comes to a close, I again wish you luck, my friends. Now, as I was saying about most effective tactics available, you would think the meta in Rocket League has shifted a fair amount in the 4 years it's been around, right? Ask any Rocket League player and they'll say more players are able to do more mechanically challenging things earlier and earlier in their carball career. Players are faster, hit the ball harder, aerial better, and have better positioning than ever before. Unless it's my teammates we're talking about, am I right, boys? But here's what I've just discovered the other day. When it comes to the actual in-game Rocket League stats, things haven't changed all that much for most players from season to season, or at least not in an extremely noticeable way on paper, except for one stat category. There's a single stat that is a complete outlier from everything else, and it's the one thing that has changed more than any other thing in 4 years of Rocket League. I discovered this when I was perusing through Ball Chasing's new population statistics. Ball Chasing is a Rocket League replay archive, and they track all the data from those replays. So with this new section of the site, they've organized the data in a way so that you can compare pretty much whatever you want using filters. We're talking ranks, seasons, playlists, everything. For instance, say I wanted to know if Platinums in ranked 3v3 standard have changed how much time they spend in the defensive half of the field. Alright, looks like some things never change. In fact, I couldn't find much season to season change at all, anywhere. I was looking for shifts in the Rocket League meta for the entire player base. So I was looking at every rank and every ranked playlist. And as you can see, most stat categories actually don't change that much from season to season. This could be because while players are getting better at attacking, they're also getting better at defending. Maybe that's why the amount of goals scored is actually going down. Or maybe like in professional sports, the evolution is a little too slow to see from season to season. I did note a minor increase in the average speed of players, and odd things like the average length of a power slide, as well as some stats trending down, or just moving up and down slightly. But like I said, overall I didn't see a lot of change, or at least not enough to indicate a shift in the meta. That is, until I stumbled upon Demos Inflicted. The amount of demolitions per game in Rocket League has risen steadily in every season since Season 4. There has not yet been a season where fewer demos were inflicted than before. It's by far the most drastic increase in any stat in Rocket League history. The question is, will it keep going? Are we going to have more and more demos each season, or will the physical play stop? The answer is it might stop, but probably not anytime soon. Here's why. Number 1, demos are annoying as f***, and there's nothing the Rocket League community loves more than being annoying. Don't even try to deny that, guys. A demo goal is one of the most savage ways to completely dominate your opponent. Number 2, it's effective. In the last 10 games I played, about 60% of the goals were a result of a bumper demo play. Did I make that statistic up? Yes, but trust me guys, it was a lot. You guys aren't stupid, you know how useful it is to remove an opponent just like that. And you also know how hard it can be to avoid when you're focused on, the ball. Number 3, it's part of a new wave of an aggressive playstyle that's becoming popular. Look at how teams like the Peeps/Pittsburgh Knights did so well in DreamHack and RLCS.
It's ridiculous. They're just mauling G2. 2 players taken out of the game. Make it 3. G2 can't even stay alive, far less win a game or score a goal. Now here comes Mist again into the backboard. You spawn with no boost, G2. What are you gonna do?
Just pure speed and aggression. Yes, the demo is somewhat of a high-risk, high-reward play, but as players become better at positioning and recoveries, it might be becoming more of a medium to low-risk, high-reward type of play. So to check out that theory that more experience equals more demos, I used a filter to see which ranks inflict demolitions more. And it turns out, as I suspected, players that have more awareness and mechanical skill, aka higher ranked players, use demos more. Basically, the better you are at Rocket League, the more annoying you are. Which again, makes sense. I wanted to see what the pros thought of my theory, so I asked Chrome what his thoughts were. Chrome is currently the coach for the RLCS Team Space Station, which I'm a content creator for, and is a former pro as well. So as someone who competed in the scene in the early stages and now coaches some of the younger teams, I thought he'd have an interesting perspective.
A lot of teams are relying heavily on counterattacks nowadays because teams are so strong defensively. The recovery times too, the mechanics are just like really high up.
Do you think there's a correlation between mechanics and being more aggressive?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. A lot of the games nowadays are really low scoring or like 1-goal games because teams are just so strong on defense. It's really difficult to score. That's why you're seeing a lot of these newer players and newer teams are bringing all these like demo plays and aggressive style play, and because it works. Makes teams panic. I've been like a long-standing player, and I always thought demos and all that were always going to be in the meta, but never to this level, I guess. It's the same thing with like mechanics as well. Like no one really thought like, you know, flip reset would come into fruition nowadays, or like a ceiling shot. It just happens, and then, you know, it's the same thing with demos. It's, people thought of it like it's not really going to work, you know, until people do it and then show that it does work. It's the same thing with a lot of mechanics.
Did you know that meta is actually an acronym? Most effective tactics available.
I did not know that, and that's actually kind of cool. I'm mind blown.
Overall, it is possible that the Rocket League meta has shifted in subtle ways that are just hard to track through stats and replay data. Demos may be the most obvious thing because, well, it's kind of easy to track. However, everyone seems to agree that demos and bumps are the new meta. So as far as I'm concerned, this theory of better mechanics leading to more physical play holds up. It's not your imagination. Demolitions are taking over Rocket League. And if you hadn't noticed before, now that I've told you about it, you'll see demos everywhere. That's because of a little thing called the
Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. Also, subscribe to SunlessKhan, you plats.